Welcome to a new daily top Askreddit video. Today's topic: what are red flags in a friendship most people brush away? Continually feeling like you want to say something but should hold your tongue. I'd like to add to this, but I think I'll hold off. Being dismissive of all your interests and achievements. Meanwhile everything they do, no matter how mundane, is amazing. I had a friend like this. She literally blocked me on social media when I was doing well at my job because she couldn't be happy for me, but then she sends me messages on a weekly basis about how great her very ordinary office job is. Edit: there's nothing wrong with office jobs, she just acts like she's the first person to ever have one and expects people to be excited for her all the time. People who can't be happy for other people are so ridiculous. How hard is it to give a thumbs up or say that's awesome, good for you, and carry on? Always asking for favors but never there when you need them to return one. I remember one time I needed a lift halfway across the UK and none of my friends would take me. One of my online friends who lived not too far away, who I help out a lot, just said, "Say no more, I'll be there in 15 minutes, get your shit." Safe to say he is one of my closest and best friends. I had back surgery in 08 and I didn't see hide nor hair of any of my RL friends, but an older lady I had met on the Sims 2 message board sent flowers, called me every day and bought me a subscription to an online game site so I'd have something to do while I recovered. She was in Seattle and I'm in Ohio. Eventually she moved to Florida and we drove down so I could meet her. We remained friends until she passed a couple of years ago. I miss her so much. Yeah, a friendship is a two-way street and ones that only go one way are not healthy. It's the fact that they act like you are the best of friends when they are around you because they want something, then immediately blow you off once you've helped. Had a few so-called friends like this. They weren't around for long. You see, you got a private message from them and your gut reaction is to start getting nervous or anxious. What is it this time? This was happening with me for months before the friendship imploded. It was always something, and none of it good. Oh, my crisis friend is calling. I wonder what crisis she's having today. Edit: clearly a lot of people recognize and sympathize with this. Learn the patterns of choices called codependency and learn how to make yourself immune to bad actors who portray themselves as innocent victims of a cruel world. Edit 2: 12-step programs talk about your higher power. If you don't believe in an ancient tribal sky god and it offends you that others want you to, then clearly that's not your higher power, yours is probably truth or freedom. The list I linked above is not a series of prayers or chants, it's a list of choices that people tend to make when they don't have the instincts to deal with hurting and or manipulative people. Not all of them apply to everyone with codependent tendencies, and not everyone with them is debilitated by them enough to go looking for help on their knees with their eyes closed. They only talk to you when all of their other friends are gone. Oof, this hit close to home. Couldn't have covered it better. Same happened to me. Made me wonder if I was just too boring or wasn't considered enough of a best friend. Same with the last friend that I had. I came to understand that a big part of it was that she needed attention, and a lot of it. So she required a large circle of friends, but only spoke to a select few consistently, and everyone else was a backup to another backup friend, so she never felt lonely. It sure as fuck made me feel lonely though. And I knew I was better than that, and I'm sure you're worth more than that kind of garbage too. Edit: this example only correlated, but does not mean this is the case for every situation like this. If you ever feel unsure about your place in someone else's life, talk to them about it. By opening up, you eliminate all uncertainty. Worst case scenario, you know where you stand and whether or not you need to move on. Be excellent to each other. Friends who are always happy to talk about themselves but never once ask you how you're doing or anything engaging you to talk about yourself. Have a friend exactly like this. It's very annoying lately. You should let them know. Maybe they don't realize they're doing it and would change their behavior to be a better friend. I was that friend once and I wish I had known before it was too late to fix it. / Inability or unwillingness to apologize when he or she does something wrong. It's symptomatic of an ego issue that will eventually infect every aspect of your friendship. I feel this one. Had a friend like that who always managed to put the blame on me, and it made me so frustrated that at one point I snapped when a common friend of us experienced that same toxic behavior. She found out later and got super mad at me for trash talking her. Lol, maybe I am the bad guy. 1 upper friends. 2 upper friends. That's nothing, try having a 3 upper friend. I just had this 2 hours ago. I was shopping and a cute girl just said hi while walking by. Just a hi made my day, and so I was telling my friend about it. He said nice and then told me how yesterday a sexy co-worker just comes to him and kisses him. Reason, she just wanted to. This was kinda the moment I realized he is full of cow excrements. Your friend must be my roommate, because according to him every woman in the world wants to fuck him. My best friend in high school once specifically requested for me to post a picture of us for National Best Friend Day, or some similar holiday. I asked if she'd be posting a picture of us too. No, I have a lot of best friends. But I'm your main best friend, so you should post a picture of us, was her response. The next couple years were full of backstabbing and gaslighting, complete with occasional fallings out until we finally stopped speaking. Looking back, I can't believe I didn't see it coming. Good riddance to her. That's awful that she said that to you, and I hope you've better, more considerate people in your life to appreciate you. Friends that don't let you have any other friends and require 100% of your time when they can't give you the same. This also applies to significant others. Especially so, with significant others. Huge red flag. Friends who gossip excessively. If they're talking about other people, chances are they're talking about you. My roommates like to gossip by saying extremely nice things behind friends' backs. That kind of gossiping is okay. When they push other people out of the friend group. It happened in my group where there were 5 of us, she joined and basically bullied 3 out of the group. But it wasn't obvious bullying. A lot of things change, next thing I know I'm being treated like shit to the point I hate myself. Me and my friend managed to leave and make friends with the original 5 again. The one that kicked everyone out is very social and no one RLY likes her BC. She's not nice, but she's now found herself with no friends. You get what you fucking deserve. They call you only when they need you. And then you feel guilty when you get mad because they've had a rough upbringing or something. And you feel like a bad friend and like maybe you're overreacting. Because you know, they've been through a lot. But still you want to vent to them about your problems because they might be able to sympathize, but then you think that their problems have been worse than yours, so you really can't complain because in comparison you don't have shit to complain about. And they don't call you or text you for a few months, but suddenly they get into an argument with somebody and they are always in the right and they need somebody to reassure them that they deserve better. Sounds about right. They don't ask about you, they just turn every conversation about themselves. When you talk about exams they don't ask you how you did, they just talk about themselves. When you talk about not sleeping well they talk about how they didn't sleep. When you tell them you broke up with your so they talk about their so, etc. Some people think that that is how you show empathy, by showing you have similar problems. It becomes a real problem when they combine it with being a topper. I slept awful last night. Woke up at 3 and just gave up. Me too. I never did fall asleep and I just laid on the couch all night. Me and one of my friends really have struggled with this in the past. I always thought I was empathizing, but I was really just making it about me. It's taken work to not talk about myself and instead just listen. Reading these comments are helping to calm my anxieties about whether or not I'm a good friend, so thanks for that y'all. Another sign of a bad friend is no self-reflection. Sounds like you don't fall into that category either. Vampires can't be good friends. Say it ain't so. I've got a friend who loves to talk about himself, everything is always about him. So, when I'm out with my friends and he's in our group, we created a game where you have to drink every time he starts a conversation about himself. It's made it a lot more tolerable. Edit, to those of you who think we do it behind his back, I never said we do. It's something we've talked about with him plenty of times and he's aware of. He's not a bad guy at all, it's just how he is. He also doesn't mean anything bad by it. He's aware we do it, we are all just super close, so we've just made a game out of it and now he often catches himself doing it. Edit 2, yes, he will drink with us. As I mentioned, he now catches himself often and will realize it and be like, shit, then we will all laugh and drink together. I'm also not saying I'm perfect, far from it, and we've got games and jokes about me as well. Have y'all ever addressed this with him? I'm embarrassed to say I used to be this way when I was younger. I didn't realize it, and did it as a way to connect to my friends' stories. One day my best friend said to me, "We're talking about me, please don't make it about you. You do that all the time." It was a light bulb moment for me. Ever since I've been more aware and found better ways to connect. Thankfully this was a long time ago, and I'm glad she said it, or else I'd still be blindly doing it. Saying something is definitely a good idea. Exactly this. You should just be honest with the guy. He may even be oblivious to it.